During the Vietnam War, the army had got a chemical, which, if sprayed on the wounds of the wounded, their bleeding would stop immediately, no matter how deep the wound was. This chemical had saved the lives of thousands of people, and you a house string. You will be surprised to know that this chemical is present in every house today. Once again, welcome in the videos of informative World Watch TV. There are many things used in daily life, which were invented by mistake, not for any purpose. First, let's look at Coca-Cola. Who knew that one stroke of the sword would create the world's most famous soft drink? Yes, this is true. It was in this year 1865 when Dr. Burton was lieutenant colonel in US Army. During the Battle of Kulupas, his chest was pierced by a sword. That Burton started using morphine, an addictive drug which at that time could be used only when wounded. This was done when no other medicine was working. The wound got cured, but another problem arose. He was now addicted to morphine and he wanted to get rid of it. At that time, alcohol and cocaine were not considered bad. He made a medicine for himself in which he added the juice of plants called cola nuts and dung, and on top of that, there was a mixture of cocaine and alcohol. It served as an alcoholic drink as well as a painkiller. She also used to work on a drug which was named Penton's French wine coca. That is, to give up one habit, she adopted another habit. After about 20 years, a law was passed against 18864. The owner of the local pharmacy store told Pam Button that now he would have to remove alcohol and cocaine from his French wine coca. For this purpose, Dr. Penn Button did some experiments in which he made a syrup only from the mixture of cola nuts and coca leaves. He did various experiments and got the owner of the pharmacy store tested, but by mistake, he added carboted water along with the syrup in an experiment. The owner of the pharmacy liked it so much that he suggested selling it as a refreshing drink, not for headache. Now, because this drink was made by mixing cola and coca leaves. It was for this reason that it was named Coca-Cola and started being sold as a refreshing drink. The world's first Coca-Cola was sold for only 5 cents, and Penn Button knew that one day it would definitely become the national drink. The reason for his illness and bank robberies. He sold the formula of this drink to the famous business tycoon Isa Greek Scandal for just $38. Today, the market value of Coca-Cola is $260 billion, which is approximately 100 billion. Number 5. Do you know that there was such a chemical during the Vietnam War, which had saved the lives of thousands of injured soldiers? Doctors used to spray this chemical on the wounds of the soldiers as first aid, which dried the wounds immediately and stopped bleeding. This chemical was none other than super glue, which is available in every house today. It is present, and the most interesting thing is that super glue was also invented by mistake. During World War II, the biggest problem faced by the soldiers was that when they fired from their guns, the target did not hit the right place. To solve this issue, the US Army needed a target made of clear plastic so that everything could be easily seen through it. To make this clear plastic, a team of chemical engineers was hired, which included Dr. Harry Cover. In the process of making clear plastic, chemical was created which was more adhesive than required. Cyanoacrylation failed to work. After 9 years, in 1951, Dr. Harry Cover was working in Kodak Company when the canopy of the jet engine, i.e. its stick. Some experiments were being done to make the cover. On this occasion, once again the refractometer of another chemist of cyanoacrylation deck was broken. Then, Dr. Harry Cover got the idea that he already had the solution, and he healing. In 1958, Kodak began selling this chemical under the name Eastman 910, which was later renamed super glue. Glue also started being used to record fingerprints in forensic investigation. When super glue is heated, the fumes it produces react with the invisible fingerprint, and within minutes, when the super glue dries and hardens, fingerprints were printed, along with used as first aid to stop bleeding and cuts. But never try this method at home. Number 4 is to check blood pressure. Whether it is to tighten children's shoes or to wrap the charger wire of mobile laptop and keep it closed, hook and loop tape is definitely used in every house, which is also often called Velcro. Do you know that the idea behind its invention? It happened on such an occasion when in 1941, an electrical engineer named George de Meester was out hiking with his dog in the mountains of the Alps. During the walk, he noticed that the seeds of the burdock plant were repeatedly sticking to his socks, clothes, and his dog. Burdock sticks to their clothes with just a light touch. He took some seeds home with him, where he observed through a microscope that the tip of the thorns of this seed was made like a hook, which was attached to the small pores present on clothes. This plant gets easily entangled in small loops. This plant is naturally made in such a way that it spreads its seeds through the animals passing by. George de Mestral found this method quite surprising, and he wanted to make something useful by using this method. He wanted this, so he made his invention public in 1955 and also got it registered in his name. Hook and loop tape comes in two parts. One has only hooks, and the other tape has nylon loops, both of which touch each other. As soon as you do this, 7 countries and around 000 employees work in this company. Number 3. Before World War II, coal was used in homes instead of heaters. But due to this, a layer of black smoke would stick in the entire house. Then Play-Doh was invented, which was used to remove the caulk. But after World War II, natural gas started being used as a heater. Noah and Joseph's. The invention of Play-Doh was no longer of any use. But after a few years, in 1950, Joseph noticed that his sister, who was a school teacher, was giving this Play-Doh to her students to make models of various things. The idea came, and they registered the Robo Crafts company and started selling it for children to play. Apart from the number 2 pacemaker and penicillin, blood thinners were also invented in the medical industry by chance. This was in the year 1920, when one of the animals' bees. A strange disease was noticed. In this disease, they started having internal bleeding, due to which even the hatched animals would die. After investigation, it was found that due to eating a special fungus which grows on the grass, their blood had become very thin. When that fungus was found in detail, when it was understood, a special chemical was found inside it which actually thinned their blood a lot. This chemical was later named Ferrin, but before it was given to heart attack and stroke patients for the next 30 years. Until 1950, it was used as a rat poison. After 1950, it was decided to use Ferrin on humans also. Among the first patients on whom this life-saving medicine was used was U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower, he had a heart attack in 1955, and the use of the Ferrin saved his life. And now the number 1 biggest success of humans was to light the fire. Ever since man learned to light the fire, he has always been trying to make this process easier. Matchbox before 1827, lighting a fire was a very laborious task. Some people used to make fire by rubbing a stone, while others used to put a wooden stick on another wood and run it like a drill. In the year 1827, a British pharmacist, John Carr, was experimenting with some chemicals. He accidentally kept the stick with which he was mixing chemicals near the bonfire in his room. Suddenly, the chemical applied to the wood caught fire. After this, he came up with the idea of making matchsticks. This chemical was potassium chlorate and antimony. This invention of John Walker was a mixture of sulfide and was so successful that from then till today, matchsticks are there in every house. John Walker did not patent his invention. People copied his formula and created new versions of matchsticks. He started making it after his death in 1899. Since then, he has been considered the inventor of the matchstick. I hope you all will like and share this video of Informative World Watch TV. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next great one.